Ask 10 people what freedom means, and you'll get 10 different answers. I think that's the whole reason so many people never actually find it. They spend years chasing a version of freedom that was never theirs to begin with. Someone else's picture, someone else's highlight reel. And then their life doesn't match that picture. So they decide they're the ones getting it wrong. So before we talk about mail or residency or any of the paperwork this channel is known for, I want to start somewhere more useful. What does freedom actually mean? Not in general. For you. Here's what I can promise you by the end of this video. You'll stop measuring your life against someone else's version of freedom, and you'll have a clearer picture of what yours actually looks like. That's the whole game. Everything else, the address, the logistics, the how, all of that comes later. Let me tell you about two conversations I had almost back to back. The first was a couple getting ready to retire. They wanted to sell the house, buy an RV, and travel 12 months a year. No home base, no season off, just the road. The second was a woman about the same age. She loved her house, she loved her neighbors. She had zero interest in living in an RV. All she wanted was to spend the coldest 3 months of the year somewhere warm, then come home in the spring. Two completely different lives. Both of them called me looking for the same thing, freedom. And neither one was more free than the other. They just needed a different version of it. This is where I watch people get stuck. Somewhere along the way, we picked up the idea that freedom has to be dramatic. Sell everything. Buy the 45-foot motorhome. Post the sunset photos. Go all in or don't bother. For a certain kind of person, that really is the dream. For a lot of other people, it sounds exhausting. And when the only version of freedom you ever see is the extreme one, it gets easy to decide freedom just isn't for you. It's not that those folks don't want more freedom. They've just never been shown more than one shape of it.
So let me give you a better way to picture it. I don't see freedom as a switch, on or off, free or not free. I see it as a spectrum. On one end is a life where most of the big decisions have already been made for you, by habit, by expectation, by the way things have always been done. On the other end is a life you actually sat down and designed on purpose. Almost nobody lives way out at that far end, and you don't need to. Most of us are somewhere in the middle, and moving a few steps in the right direction counts for a lot. Working remotely 2 months out of the year, downsizing to something simpler, finally starting the business you've been talking about for a decade, keeping your family's home address off the internet. None of that requires selling everything you own. And every one of those is a real move toward freedom. Here's the part I really want to land for you. Freedom isn't measured by how much you own or how far you travel. It's measured by how many choices you have. That's the whole thing. More choices, more freedom. There are a couple of ways I like to explain this to people. Think about a tailored suit. You'd never walk into a tailor and ask for whatever size everybody else is buying. That would be ridiculous. The entire point is that it fits you. Your life is the same. It should be cut to your measurements, not somebody else's. Or think about a playlist. Two people can put on completely different music and both be perfectly happy. Neither playlist is wrong. They just fit different people. The goal was never to find the objectively best music. The goal was to find what you actually want to listen to. Life works exactly the same way. Now, the fastest way to lose sight of all of this is comparison, and we are absolutely swimming in it. YouTube is full of couples in million-dollar motorhomes. Instagram is full of perfectly staged travel photos. The good 10 seconds of a very long day. Every Facebook group has somebody ready to tell you the one right way to do everything. So here's what I gently remind you. None of those people are living your life. They don't have your family, your finances, your health, your priorities. Comparison has quietly talked a lot of good people out of their own version of freedom, just because it didn't look like the one on their screen. You don't have to copy any of them. You just have to get honest about what you actually want. When someone calls me and starts describing their plans, I've got one question running in the back of my head the entire time. Not what would I do? Not what the last client chose. Just this. What does success actually look like for this person? Everything else comes from that answer. So I want to hand you that same question, and I want you to actually sit with it for a second. Most people, when they picture freedom, picture a vacation, a trip, 2 weeks somewhere beautiful. I want you to picture something smaller than that. Picture an ordinary Tuesday, not a vacation Tuesday, a regular one. Where are you? What are you doing that morning? Who's around you? What did you get to skip? What did you finally have time for? And notice what I haven't talked about this whole video: an address, residency, any of the logistics. That's on purpose. People find this channel because we help with the practical side of living without a permanent home base. And we are going to get into all of it. But the address is just a tool. It comes after you know what you're building. Figure out how you want to live first. The paperwork is the easy part, and it's the part we're here to handle when you get there. So if you take one thing from this, let it be this: there is no single freedom lifestyle. There are as many versions as there are people, and yours does not need anyone's approval to be the right one. Freedom isn't about becoming someone else. It's about building a life that fits you well enough that you stop wanting to escape it. In the next video, I want to talk about the one thing sitting underneath every one of these conversations, no matter which version of freedom someone's after. The fact that we only get one life, and what that quietly costs us when we forget it. And before you go, do me one favor. Drop your ordinary Tuesday in the comments. Not your dream vacation, your ideal regular Tuesday. I read them, and honestly, it's my favorite way to see what freedom actually means to the people watching. Remember, your address should support your life, not define it. See you in our next video.